Welcome back to another episode of Sew and Tell. I can't quite remember what episode it is, so I have to check, but hopefully the right number will be in the title. Right now, I don't know if you saw, but at the very end of my last video, I showed you Alfie Rabbit in his boxer shorts, but I did say goodbye, and then I just showed you a little bit of my cat, and I put it on at the very end, so you might have missed it. And I know that Karen from So Little Time, she said she missed him as well, so I thought I'd start off my video with Alfie in his boxer shorts. They're so cute. Now, I've used a dark thread on this, but I did that on purpose really, because I wanted to see the details. You do like a false, you do kind of cut them out with a fly. It does have a fly, but then it's kind of false. It's not a usable fly. So, you know, you've got a little bit you can lift up, but you can't get in there kind of thing. But yeah, and it's got the little line of stitching down here. I don't know if you can see it in the bit across here. And I've used the dark stitching. The only thing with the dark stitching is where like I've overlapped and things, a little bit of a dark bit, but it is a toy at the end of the day, isn't it? So, yeah, but I just thought, yeah, it was lovely. I've really enjoyed it. And I could make 2 other pairs of boxer shorts with that kit as well, and I have cut out the boxer shorts using this fabric, so that's those ready to go. What's that sticking on there? Right, that's them ready to go. That's 2 pieces together. Now I did have a mishap with my new iron. Now, do you know I showed you that I've got a new cordless iron, and I don't know how to make it cordless because since having it, and I showed you, I can't find the instructions, right? And it's got a stand, right? Let me just get it. It's got this, hopefully I wasn't flashing anything then. Yeah, excuse how I'm dressed, it's absolutely scorchio. It's set to be 31 degrees today, and it's after lunch, and it's pretty warm. Actually, what I'm doing is, in a moment, my husband's just getting ready. We're going out to get some chicken feed, and we're getting some sticky insulation to put on the conservatory roof on the inside, because it's just so hot. I know we could have done it sooner, but we're knocking the conservatory down when we extend, and hopefully it's going to be getting knocked down this year, but it would just give us a bit of welcome relief during the summer months and that. I was always a little bit reluctant to do it before, because most of the year round I love having the conservatory roof, you know, living in the UK, spring, autumn, winter, it's quite a lovely place to be, but in the summer it's just torture and it heats up the whole house. Anyway, so that's what we're doing in a moment, so I haven't got long to speak to you, but I presumed when you're using your iron you put it back on here, but I think I've burnt the wheels, right, but I've definitely burnt there, look. Now, I didn't know my iron had melted that. Went to iron Alfie's boxer shorts, and it had all this black on his boxer. You can't actually see it now. Yeah, there was all this black on his boxer shorts. I was thinking, what on earth is that? I looked and I was devastated. Can you imagine it? It's my brand new iron. But I've got a piece of fabric and a bit come off, and I've got like an iron cleaner stick. And I don't normally use it, but I got it off straight away. So the iron looks like new, apart from this. So if you've got this iron, please could you tell me, you're not really supposed to put it on here when it's warm, and then what is the point of it, really, if you can only use it when it's cold? My iron's practically on all the time. So, and then you could plug your iron into preheat. I don't know, maybe you can put it on here, but maybe it was just resting on the side. I really don't know, and I don't know how to make it cordless. But I know some of you have said, or definitely one person said in the chat when I showed that iron, that you've got that iron, so please could you give me a few instructions? I know how to use the iron, the settings and everything, but yeah, it's the cordless and I'm not sure about the stand. Anyway, right, now I'm not getting all that much sleep at the moment, right? Now, I've actually, I ended up going to A&E, even though, do you know when I had a fall on the ice that I told you about? Hurt my neck and I fell quite hard down here. And I didn't really notice straight away, but I've been having a lot of trouble with my wrist. And sometimes I'm lying in the evening, like last night, I was just in so much pain. I just couldn't get comfortable. So 3 nights, I've had quite strong. They're not my painkillers, I will admit. Somebody has given them to me. I know you shouldn't do that kind of thing, but I've had quite strong painkillers for 3 nights in a row, and I've gone to bed just to try and get a bit of sleep. But I did go to A&E, and they made the decision not to X-ray it, and I think the reason was, I've got an old bruise here, and because the pain I've had is around there as well, she's going, that's an old bruise, I don't think we should X-ray you, right? And I have gone to yoga, but I don't know if it's the yoga that's aggravated it, I really don't know. So I've ordered basically something to go on my arm, and you can use it if you've got sprains and injuries, basically wrist injuries, and I'm going to wear that. I might wear it for about 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. I'm not all the time, maybe I'll take it off, but just to give my wrist a bit of support, yeah. So I don't know how it's going to affect my crafting and things, so yeah, it's a little bit of a worry. But while I've been awake, right, I get ideas now. I'm sorry that I didn't end up showing you me wearing my boob tube that I made out of this fabric. It's sitting up there, it hasn't even made it upstairs yet. Actually, I could put that on to go out now if I've got something to cover my modesty, my nipples, right? And I'm still going to do more crafts with this, but while I was lying there awake getting ideas, as you do, remember this book I showed you, Knickers? Now, I got this book absolutely free for, I think it might have been Love Sewing magazine, it could have been Sew magazine. All I had to do is pay the postage, right? And I got this book absolutely free, and I haven't made anything out of it yet, but there are a few woven pants in it. Now, let me try and find something that might be suitable. Well, these are called the Cotton Original. Now, those are a totally different style of pants because I've got a elastic round here. Now, this is like going to have a loose edge, so those won't be suitable. Yeah, there's things you could do, but to get the full effect, they're not going to be much good. There's the French Knickers. Now, they've put lace on the bottom of those, but I wouldn't need to, would I? I could just eliminate that and just do something at the top. So that's an option. I will be cutting bits out, so you're not just watching me look through a book. I've looked through, and they all look quite elasticated around the bottom area. So maybe the French Knickers. So maybe those French Knickers, I don't know. There is patterns in the back of this book, but I don't know if you have to enlarge them. I don't know. They look quite small sizes, 8 to 18 it says. So if you make pants and you know that that's in 2 halves, you've got to obviously piece that together. So I suppose it'd be best to either trace or photocopy them and then stick them together. French Knickers. So both of those pages are the French Knickers. So maybe while I'm in this pant and knicker mode, maybe I'll make some of those for myself as well. So I'll be matching the girls. This keeps happening. I don't mean to dress like my animals, right? But I do end up dressed like them because I use the fabric. Hello.
Sorry.
Are you ready to go?
I was going to ask you something.
All right, okay. All right. Oh, I'm finished now, all right.
All right.
Right. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'll be cutting a bit out, but yeah, but I'm off now anyway, and I'm back another day, and I'll let you know what's going on. So it's actually Sunday at 1:25 at the moment. So I hope you're managing to stay cool if you're getting the heat that we're having, and you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in the next bit. Right, I popped back. Now, my husband popped in, as you might have noticed, to disturb me, but it was for a really good reason. He wants to book a 4-night stay in Cornwall. So my beach bag, my Poppy to Fry Seagull beach bag, I might actually go to Cornwall, and my Coastal Bird Project pouch, which would be nice, won't it? So I'd really like them to see, you know, what I did with it. So that's really exciting. So yeah, that's all booked now. And I just got changed. I found a strapless bra, and it's a natural colour, and I've put my top on, so I thought you might like to see what it looks like. I've just put it on with a pair of denim shorts. It's just a simple boob tube basically. So yeah, so I think the little lacy edge, it's not, these are quite low-waisted shorts, so you do see a little bit of midriff with it, but with the modern high-waisted you wouldn't at all. But I don't mind a little bit of midriff, as long as it's, you know, not too bad. So yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. So I might be getting some frilly knickers as well to match the animals, mightn't I? So I don't know what's going to really happen because this week, because it is so warm, isn't it? But you know what, I'm sitting in here and it's quite manageable. But yeah, it all depends on what's going on in life. But thank you so much for joining me so far, and I'll see you in the next bit. Welcome back to another day. Now today, oh gosh, my watch is doing something. It's Tuesday the 20th. Now, I will admit not a lot of crafting has been going on. We're having a real extreme heat wave, you know, here in the UK, and I think it's especially hot. It's record-breaking temperatures from what I'm hearing on the news and things, and especially high in the Midlands area where I am. Actually, I will insert a picture of the UK. You'll see UK and Ireland and a little bit of France. I'll pop that on. Now, if you have a look at the blue dot, that's where I am in the UK, right smack bang in the middle. And you get more heat because you don't have like sea breeze and everything, you know. So yes, it's quite warm. So the aim of my days have been basically to live, feed my family, do the shopping, look after the house, and try and stay as cool as possible. Now, the last time I spoke to you, I think we were going to get some insulation type thing to put in the conservatory, and that day it was pretty hot as well. My husband and I covered the conservatory roof with this. It's like, can you imagine, well, have you ever seen houses that have been raided, that have been growing like is it ganja plants kind of thing, and they've got all this silver foil kind of look. It kind of looks like that, but it's like gold. So it does look a bit unsightly when you look up at the conservatory roof, but it's just a temporary thing until we knock it down. And you know what, I don't care what it looks like, it has made a massive difference to the house already. So and it's hot, it's still hot anyway, and I've stopped taking the painkillers now for my wrist, but my wrist support has arrived, and that is definitely helping, which is great. So I have had some deliveries, so at least I've got something to talk about. Now, do you remember I was showing you Alfie's top? I was saying I don't mean to dress like my animals, but it just ends up happening. It's just because I use offcuts of my clothing I've been making, and then use it for the animals, and then we end up looking like we dress the same. And today I'm wearing an Ogden cami by True Bias, and mine is probably slightly different. I think I shortened it. I think I used longer straps. I put a bust dart in it, and then I ended up putting a dart down here. If I made it again, would I do anything different? Yes, I would consider not having a dart and just narrowing the sides instead, because I'm a little bit more experienced now. I would do that. And the only thing is, you do see a little bit of my bra. So if I did want it this low, maybe I'd make the arm sleeve smaller, or would I just consider having the strap shorter, bringing it up a little bit, but maybe then I'd lengthen the top. So I've got two of these. They are slightly different, but But yeah, that's what I've got on. And I got this fabric from Guthrie and Garni. Now, I have had a delivery from Debbie Shaw, and I don't think I've bought from Debbie Shaw before. 2 of the things are for my advent calendar, but I'm not going to obviously show those now because I'm going to open those on over Christmas, and then you'll see the things I've bought myself for my own advent calendar. I'm hoping that, because I haven't wrapped anything yet, I'm going to wrap the things I've got so far, so in the hope I forget the things that I've bought, so it'd be a nice surprise opening my own calendar. But the one thing I can show you is this from Debbie Shaw, and it's called luxury toweling. I might have bought a metre of it, and it is rather nice, but I just bought it for things that I might need toweling for. I had planned on making some washable pads for removing like my eye makeup, because I often use biodegradable cotton pads, and I put baby oil to take up my eye makeup off and things. But I'm trying to produce, I've been doing this for years and years, even before this became trendy, a trendy thing that you heard in the media. You hear a lot about it now. It's been something I've been doing for years, but this is one thing I haven't changed in my life, and I want to change that. So yeah, and that's why I've gone for the dark colour, because I thought if I go for white, they're going to start looking a bit grubby looking, and I'm going to make a little pot for the used ones to go in, ready to go in the wash. Maybe like a bag. I might make a bag that can go in the wash with the things that they can wash inside it, so I'm not having to like find them all when they go through the wash. That's my plan with that. Do you think I sound like I've got a bit of a sore throat? I do feel like I'm struggling to talk to you a little bit today, but I've had something really exciting to show you. So this is really good actually, because I haven't done any sewing as of yet. I've got a delivery. Now, I'm guessing this is Mandy Shaw's Secret Society month 2, right? But normally I kind of know it's going to happen because I get an email to say payment is due out payment has gone. But I don't know if it's because I've not been getting through my emails all that quick, whether the emails have started going in my junk. So I'm going to have a dig around, and I've got a message coming up on my phone. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so I'm going to have a dig around and see if I did get an email and that maybe I've missed it. So I'm just going to open it. Maybe I'll cut it out while I try and open it. Oh, I can see something edible. A drumstick. Oh, a very large drumstick. Do you know, like you get the lollipops? Oh, Mandy, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm nearly out of lollipops, so that's come at a real nice time. But it's nearly lunchtime. It's 11:20, so maybe I'll have to wait till after lunch now. Oh, something else is good. Oh my goodness, more sweeties. Candy sticks. Are these like what we used to have when we were children, and you'd pretend they were cigarettes and you'd pretend to smoke them? It might be. Yeah, I remembered it. I've never been a smoker, but I did pretend. Is that a broken one? I did pretend to smoke these when I was a child, like children do. My parents don't smoke, but people in my family did smoke. But I don't think anybody in my family smokes now, even the people that I knew as smokers. Yeah, and apparently there's a temporary tattoo inside. I wonder what it is. See if I can get it out. No, what I'll do is when they've been eaten, I'll show you the tattoo. I can't say I promise I'm going to come on wearing the tattoo. Maybe I'll stick it on my husband when he's sleeping or something. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? I don't think he'd appreciate that. Wow, there's 2 bags of things, right? Do you know what though? Is there a book? Oh gosh, I thought I hadn't got a newsletter then. What I'm going to do is I'll have a look at the little newsletter and I'll come back to you either today or another day. But that's that. I'm guessing that looks like a little... Oh, yeah, I've got to watch what I show you here because I've noticed this. I had a little bit of trouble. We've got passcodes and things for members only on these, so don't really... Hang on, I could... Yeah, there we go. I'll cover it up actually so I can show you a photograph. Apparently we're going to make a sewing roll for cotton reel. That's what it says. Right, let's see if I can get the angle on this. I've got this thing on. It's going to look like that. Look, looks like a teeny weeny one because look at the little tiny wooden ends on it. That's cute, isn't it? So let me have a look. So we're going to be doing block C and block D. Right, I'll bend this paper so I can show you. Can you see that? It's C and there's cotton reels, and D a dress form or a mannequin, but I think it's going to be D for dress form. So those are the blocks that we're going to do this month. Now obviously this is a whole newsletter, so I'm not going to sit here reading through it, but there is a recipe and there isn't a photo on here. There might be a photograph on the Secret Society website. Apparently there are some videos on there, but I must admit I haven't looked in my newsletter from last month, and without looking for it I didn't know how to log in, so I'll log in, and if I can get a photograph of the recipe and better photographs of the things I was showing you, I'll pop those in. But the recipe is Mel's chocolate devil cake. Warning, Mel's chocolate cake is dangerous. My family devoured it cold on its own and hot with custard. It's dense, thick and very Moorish. You have been warned. Ooh, sounds nice, doesn't it? So we get the newsletter, which I'm going to read shortly. An iron-on transfer for the cotton, and it will be back to front because they have to be back to front for when you iron them on. Oh, it's D for dressmaking, not dress form. So that is what we've got this month, and I'm guessing these are going to be for making the blocks, those blocks that I've just showed you. So that's really exciting, isn't it? So I'm going to be busy with that now. So I'm always a bit torn really what to do. So I am going to make the Luna's French knickers. That's definitely the next thing. I'm not sure about everything else because of this heat. It's kind of thrown me a little bit, and I'm a little bit torn with what I want. Do I want to make the bag? Do I want to do some dressmaking? Yeah, I'm not quite sure at the moment. So I'm going to concentrate on the French knickers and things. And you never know, by the time I've done all that, the weather might have cooled down and I might feel different, because I find that weather really predicts and how I feel. What I find I'm very interested in the summer months is food. I'm very fooding orientated because I've got everybody at home and I'm having to cater for what it is. My middle son is not so fussy. I do varied lunches for him, but he's very accommodating. But my other children, they're not quite as accommodating as my husband and myself and my middle son. So yeah, so I have to get a bit creative and things. So I'm kind of thinking every morning at the moment, think about food. I'm thinking about food a lot of the time, what I'm going to feed the family and things. So sewing is not in the forefront of my thoughts at the moment. Obviously I'm always thinking about it, but yeah, it's just not a priority in the summertime. And I've got to think about getting uniform and things ready, because we're going on a little trip now, aren't we? So that's going, and we've got a wedding to go to. Yes, I've got a lot to think about. So if I don't get a video out every single week over the summer, please forgive me. I'm sure you're very understanding, my viewers. You're very supportive, and thank you so much. And I really hope you understand, and I'm sure you do, because obviously I'm a busy mom with I know my boys are teens, but they're boys. in the teens, they still need a lot of attention and things, don't they, and guidance and things. So anyway, I'm going to go now, and I'll be back soon when I've got something to show you. I don't think I've got enough video at the moment. I'll have a look at what I've got, but yeah, maybe the next bit might be the final bit, I'm not too sure. So thank you so much for joining me so far, and I'll see you in the next bit. Bye. Right, welcome back to another day. Now, I am so sorry it has been so long now since you've seen a video. It's actually been, I had a look at the last bit of footage that I filmed, and it was on the 20th of July, and it's now Wednesday, the 28th of July, so I can't believe I haven't filmed for that long. But you know what? I had a little think about what's been going on since that date, and I can kind of understand why I haven't sat in front of the camera, and I haven't done a huge amount of sewing, but I have done some sewing. But it's the one thing I'm not going to show you just yet, but I'll show it you in my next video. But I'll show you what it looked like before I did the sewing, if you know what I'm saying. So what has been happening now, if you're in the UK, you'll be very aware we've had a heat wave, and I was telling you, sorry, I've got hair on my face, I was telling you all about, you know, we put the stuff on the roof in the conservatory, and that did help, but it was just still sweltering. I was saying it was 29 degrees in the bedroom, so it's quite nice actually. This morning I've looked at the temperature when I've woke up in the bedroom, and it was 24 degrees, which has been probably the lowest I've seen the bedroom in the last 7 days really, but it crept down to 23, and it's got to 22. Now that is the coldest I've seen my bedroom in ages, because sometimes it was like 29 degrees and things. So, and you know, when you look at the temperatures of the weather for your area, I've got an outdoor thermometer, and it's always hotter than what they say. So when it was saying, oh, it was like 30 degrees, it was actually 35 degrees in my garden. Do you know what I'm saying? It can be quite considerably warmer than what they're saying. So if that thermometer's correct, you know what I'm saying. So there was the heat. That was kind of, it was basically everything I have to do in the house, general day-to-day things, and cooking and cleaning and things were just taking me a lot longer, so then was giving me less time to film, less time to sew. And another thing that has happened is restrictions have lifted a bit with the lockdown, the COVID restrictions. So I'm a member of the gym, and I was trying to go to the gym, and I'd put my name down for a number of classes. I've been doing that for quite a few weeks since they've been back open, but I wasn't really lucky enough to really get on anything. I was lucky if I got on one class a week. Well, the last week, because they increased the numbers, because you put yourself down on the app and you can go on the waiting list, and last week, because they lifted restrictions a bit, they can now have 25 people in a class. So I actually got on a number of classes, which was quite nice. So I managed to get to Pilates, I managed to get to yoga, and actually I attended a class I don't do. My husband said he was going to go to an evening body pump. Now, body pump is a thing where you have a barbell with weights on, and you're going to be working in a class upper body and a bit and squats and things. And I must admit I was a bit nervous about it, but I went along with him, and we actually took our eldest son, so the three of us went there. And yeah, it was quite comical actually when you go and you're trying to do these new routines, and I was behind my family, so it's quite funny seeing them. And yeah, but it was quite good fun. And luckily I didn't really feel the effects after. I don't know if it's because I ice skate and I'm working my legs anyway, and I do a bit of Pilates and yoga. And yoga, you kind of use your arms, because you lower yourself down slowly on your arms and things. But my husband and son have been really, in pain after, but I was all right. So that was Thursday and we went to see it, nearly a week ago now. So yeah, it's quite funny. So so there's been the gym. We've been at the gym more than we would have been. And another thing, do you know my son has got a car now, but he hasn't, he's only just started having lessons. Well, normally he'll be quite happy to get in place from himself from A to B. He'll jump on a bus into our local town. He wants to go to his girlfriend, he'll get a bus from there. You know what I'm saying? We do pick him up usually in normal circumstances, but now he's got the car, he wants to use the car. So often he's driving to work and one of us has to go with him, so one of us can drive the car back. He wants to be picked up from work, so we have to drive the car there so he can drive it back. He wants to have to drive to his girlfriend's and then we have to drive it back. So I've actually been driving my son's car this last week quite a lot, which was quite funny actually, because I drive an automatic now. I've always had manual cars, but I've got an automatic and I haven't drove a manual in a long time, so I was a bit nervous about it. But you know what? It was like riding a bike. It was like I'd never been away, and it's quite nice actually, because I prefer like jeeps to drive. That's my preferred thing. I like being high up and seeing what's going on, but obviously it's quite good fun sitting in this little car and with this chunky steering wheel, and it's petrol and you've got that noise of the petrol. It's been quite good fun actually. I feel like I'm back to like when I was 17 and driving around my first car. So yeah, it's been quite good fun. So I've been rather busy with life, and like obviously I've been feeding the family. I think where I left you, I showed you a dinner that I'd prepared that hadn't yet gone in the oven, and that was broccoli pasta bake, and I think that was either on the BBC Food website or the BBC Good Food. I think it was BBC Food, but it was delicious. It was really nice, and there was a bit of leftovers actually. It is about just over 800 calories per serving, but what I did to try and cut it down a bit, I had about half a serving. I had like a bowl of salad, I had and half a serving, probably a bit more. I probably had about 500 calories on the salad kind of thing. So yeah, so it is a bit moreish, but you don't have to have the full 800 and something serving, because it serves 4. So yeah, it was quite nice, and I've cooked a lot since then actually, but I haven't blogged about it or whatever. This often happens in the summer though. If I've looked back on my past posts on Facebook and things over the years, in the summertime when less sewing was going on, I blog about my food, but I haven't really been blogging about that either. And there's been a lot going on at home, and I have been helping my husband a little bit. We've dismantled a a patio table that we don't want anymore, that we're going to dispose of. It's wooden and it's wrecked. Our in-laws gave it to us when they got a new one, when they went all rattan. But yeah, it's not looking good, so we're getting rid of that. And we've had to remove some bushes and things because we're putting a fence up. Basically, we've got fencing all down the left hand side, fencing down the right hand side for the halfway point onwards, but we've got an old wall that's collapsing. But there's like a yew tree. We've had to unfortunately cut a yew tree down, but we needed it to get the fence up, and when we extend, that was going to be too close to the house anyway. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to lose my plum tree. Yeah, so I've said to my husband, well, I say plum tree, we don't really know what it is, this tree. It's a kind of plum. They're yellow, right? It might be, I don't know what they are in all honesty. And the only reason I know they're safe to eat is because when my middle son was a toddler, I used to pick them up and throw them away, but they were dropping all the time because we used to have 2 of these trees, and he used to eat them. he's 16 now and he lives to tell the tale and he ate loads of them. So, so yeah, it's a good job you could eat them, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, I've been making jam out of them for years, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to lose my last tree. So I said to my husband, could you just make sure, leave that tree for now, because it is starting to fruit. It has fruited, but they're not ready. And I said to him, can you just leave that to the very last thing you remove that you've got to, because you never know, it might have fruited and I might get, because the last time I managed to get fruit off it, I managed to get like 3 years worth of jam stored, which was nice. So that's been going on, a lot going on in the garden. It looks a bit of a mess. Actually, I've got a little bit of footage where, because the rain has arrived now, the storms, but I don't think we've had any lightning actually. We might have done. Yeah, we have had a bit of lightning. A little bit of footage. If it's any good, I'll pop it in and you can see my whitest chicken and my darkest cat sitting together outside sheltering from the rain. So whether I'll put that in a side bit or whether I'll put it in when I finish talking, I don't know. But that was quite funny. So yeah, that's kind of what's been happening on a personal front. But there has been some deliveries and there has been a little bit of sewing. Now, I'm going, and we've been shopping, right? My auntie is getting married. So we've been trying to get things for the wedding. So my husband got a jacket, a waistcoat and some trousers. And our eldest son got a jacket, shirt, I think they both got shirts actually, a tie, trousers, and I was with them. And basically my husband, he thought he'd gone up one size over lockdown, but turns out he's gone up 2 sizes in his trousers. So we've took one pair of trousers back, and they said it was going to be next day delivery into store, which would be Sunday, and they never arrived. And it's Wednesday and they still haven't arrived, and we're getting a bit panicked because we've got this wedding to go to. And today we're going to be taking our middle child and youngest child to go and get their hair cut and to try and sort out their wedding clothes. Now, I was going to wear an old dress from a wedding that I've been to before, but my husband, he said he's really not that keen on it, right? So he's bought me a dress, basically. I didn't have time to make one, but I didn't really like the length of it and things. So I've made some alterations to it. So I'll actually, shall I save it? Right, what I'll do is I've took a photograph of what it was, because I got it in a store, but it is on the website. So I've took a photograph of it on the model. But obviously I haven't got any photographs of me in it with the alterations I made. So what I'm going to do, that's the only bit of sewing I've done since I've last spoken to you, but I can't remember what I've done, the boxer shorts since. So what I'll do is I'll include that in my next video. So I'll show you photographs from the wedding and things, and me in my dress, and I'll show you what I look like beforehand. So that's something up and coming next week that you might look forward to seeing. So on the sewing front, that is all I've done. Unfortunately, I haven't done any of my Mandy Shaw things, and actually I found out with that Secret Society I've got to download the pattern, and I've had a mishap. Somebody has trod on my laptop and the screen is cracked. Well, the screen's broken, and it's going to cost £80 or £90 to get it repaired, which is pretty grim, isn't it? Yeah. So, and we have had a bit of a mishap with things lately. So, but anyway, right. But I had ordered some things, and they had arrived, right? And here is one. Now I think I've got 6 of these. Now these was from Sewing Street. And they're Union Jack squares, look. They're fab, aren't they? And they look like kind of like calico kind of fabric. Calico canvasy. And they look quite rustic, look. It's kind of mottled, isn't it? It's not solid. And I've got 6 of those. And I plan to make cushions with them. Now, the plan is probably, Actually, I'm going to put this back in here. Do you know what? It's good to keep the things in the plastic. Although I don't all agree with plastic, with what I'm like. But do you know what? I've got moths in here. So it just keep them moth free. It'd be awful, wouldn't it? You go to use something brand new and you've got moths. I've got 6 of these. So I've got 3 teenage sons. So I plan to do 1 each for their bedrooms. But my eldest son, his bedroom looks very Japanese now. So he might not want his. We'll just see. And I've got 3 more. So I was thinking maybe if there's something going on, a Jubilee celebration, my husband and I can have one. And there's a spare one. Or we could put them in the garden room. Or when we've got our forever living room and we've extended, maybe there could be a themed Great Britain cushion we can get out when there's British celebration things going on. Well, at the moment we've got Olympics, haven't we? So I could be flying the Great Britain flag. So I haven't measured those, and I don't know what size cushions I'm going to need for them. So those are up and coming. I haven't sewn those little French knickers for Luna yet, but they're still on here. Basically everything I showed you from when I last filmed is still on here. Actually, I've got loads of things going on, and now I've got, I think, is that everything? I've got one final thing I think I want to show you, and it's this. Now, a Festival of Quilts is on, right, and it started today, but I definitely won't be going, and I won't be looking at sewing machines. Circumstances have kind of changed for us a little bit financially, so I will now not be looking for a new sewing machine, not at the moment anyway, maybe in the future. So I couldn't really see any point, because the reason I kind of wanted to go is I wanted to look at the different sewing machines, but which I'm really sorry, because I was really hoping to give you a bit of information on the sewing machines, but I just don't want to torture myself looking at new machines if I can't buy one. So do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no point putting myself through that. But a little while ago I ordered some fabric, and I had an email from the cotton patch, and I picked this up from the cotton patch. So basically yesterday my son drove his car to his girlfriend's, and it's near the cotton patch. That's handy, isn't it? Right. And so when I then took his car and left, I went straight to the cotton patch and I picked up my fabric, and it's basically a fat quarter pack, and it's Christmas. Oh, actually, there is something I want to show you before I go. They're going to be exposed to moths now. I'm not going to get that back in, but have a look at that. Right, it's got like a gold thing. I don't know how well. I think it will wash okay. That one. Do you know what? I don't know if you can see that. Those are stars, but I don't know how well that's coming up on screen. Actually, I thought I'd mention what I'm wearing. Actually, I'm wearing my Tilly and the Buttons cocoa dress, the only cocoa I've made. I've not made the top version. This is the only dress I've made. I don't know if I look pale, because since all this heat wave, I've not put any fake tan on. I've got makeup on, but I've got no fake tan on at all, because it's been that warm. If I'd put fake tan on, it would have gone patchy. But I have actually been in the sun. I have done a little bit of sunbathing, but I'm not going to probably look as brown as I would if I'm using fake tan, but I might put some on for the wedding. Now, this has got spots and stars, so do you know, if I look a bit ill looking, that might be why. I might look browner earlier in the video, I don't know. I've got the swirls. So basically it's just Christmas. Fat quarters. So those are nice, aren't they? So those will be good in my Christmas quilty projects. Right, I'm just going to grab something, well, 2 things to show you. Right, do you remember me saying I was really excited I was going out for lunch with my friends that hadn't been out with for lunch for ages? Well, that was a week ago now since I've had lunch with them. And yeah, because I haven't spoken to you, have I? But my friend who hadn't seen me at Christmas had bought me a little something. And she actually bought me something for my birthday, because I had a big birthday, didn't I, October? Bought me something for my birthday. Actually, it was quite funny. She said, I got you something for your birthday. And she actually said 10 years younger than I actually am. And I said, I'll take that. If you want to think that was my birthday, I'll take that. So I was quite, just a slip of the tongue, but yeah, but it's quite funny. But so I was so chuffed because, you know, I was telling you I love Christmas in July. Now you might think, what on earth are you going on about? But Christmas in July is a bit of a thing. Some people do celebrate it. I think a few Americans do. From what I'd say, there's a lot of American romance films, and they're on Movies 24, so I watch them. I'm not saying I watch every single one, but I've recorded a few, and I just tend to put them on while I'm doing my makeup and hair and things, you know. I've watched a couple just sitting there watching in the evening with my husband, and yeah, I think he has warmed to it a little bit. He's got no choice really. But what was really nice, and if you're a crafter, you start getting loads of emails saying discounted Christmas crafts in July, Christmas in July, you know, so it is a thing for crafters. So when I went for lunch with my friend, she gave me my Christmas gift for last Christmas, right? Now, we don't always do Christmas gifting with each other, and obviously because we hadn't seen each other, I must admit I hadn't done anything for her. She always feel awful, don't you? But look, this has been laser cut. Yeah, let me get a piece of paper. Is that going to work? It's my name, and it's been laser cut. Look, it does catch the light, and it's a star. And I was just so delighted with that, to have something with my name on it as a gift off a friend that she'd had made. I think she got it from Etsy, but you know what? So I don't know if Suze watches my videos actually, but thank you, Suze. If she hasn't said anything, so I know my friends saw my very first one. Because I remember saying, going, what do you think? Now, if I watch my first videos, they're awful. They're really, really awful. When I started doing this, I think I'm a lot better at speaking to you, and my technical abilities are a lot better because I can show you photographs. I can cut awful bits out. Do you know what I'm saying? So, so it's much better. But, you have to start somewhere. It's a learning curve, isn't it? So, what was I on about that? She says, yeah, they watched my first video, but I don't think they've watched it. No wonder if they haven't watched any more based on the first one I sent them a link for. No wonder, right? And she also gave me this for my birthday, right? And it's still got the paper on it, and I'll just show it you. And it says, Claire Roberts, Crafting Queen, right? And it's a plaque. And I'm guessing you... right, okay. I can never get my head. You put those on and look. So I could actually pin things to it. I probably won't. I'd probably use that for hanging. Right, well, it has been hanging. I've got a wooden Christmas tree that I just keep in here that I get out at Christmas, but I hang a few things on May. So if I'm making Christmas decorations before it's Christmas, I've been hanging them on there. Do you know those partridge in a pear tree things? I haven't done many, but the ones I've done I've showed you, but they're hanging on there. So this is hanging on there now, because obviously I'm not going to go and put it in the loft, and this has been hanging on there, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, it's a decorative hand-finished wooden plaque with a vintage style metal bulldog clip hanger, right, and it's made from sustainable birch plywood, and it tells you a bit more, but I'm not going to read it all out. And I don't know where my friend bought it from, but there is a website called I'm going to spell it, it's like cool, CoulSonMacLeod.com. Right, that's the website. I don't know how to say it right. So, but I'll read this bit out to you. And it says, Claire Roberts, Crafting Queen, I craft, therefore I rock. Craft so hard you start to sweat glitter. All things sorry about this. All good things come to those who craft. Crafting comes before housework in the dictionary. My husband read this out and I did laugh at that bit. He's probably thinking, what? As it should, right? And then in crafting, there are no mistakes, just unique creations. Crafting each day keeps the crazy away. To craft or not to craft, that is the question. When in doubt, just add some glitter. Crafting is not a hobby, it's a way of life. Been there, crafted that. Crafting makes everything better, even Mondays. I was crafty before crafty was cool. That's good, isn't it? I thought that was so much fun. And it was just so funny because I hadn't read it and then my husband read it out and I was sniggering because no husband wants to hear crafting before housework, do they? It's a happy balance, isn't it? I must admit, if I literally made sure everything was done in the house, I would never get in here, basically. I have to kind of do as much as I can. Say if it's when my son's at school, what I'd do is I'd do stuff all day at home and things, and then probably half an hour before I've got to leave, then I'd spend half an hour in here. Or say if I'd got the dinner prepped in the morning, that I know when I get home from picking him up, maybe I could do some crafting when I get home. That, I kind of juggle things a bit like that. And my husband watches football. I'm like, well, I'm going to go and craft. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those. So that's how I do it. So anyway, is there anything else I want to tell you? Oh gosh, yes. One more thing I'm going to tell you before I go, right? Basically, we had 4 bags of clothes that the children have grown out of that I don't really want to do any crafting with. I can't really keep. I'd love to keep everything that they discard, but I really, really can't. I just cannot store. I've probably stored too many things that they've grown out of or ruined in here as it is. I probably could do with decluttering some fabric things and offcuts that I'm not going to use. But my husband and I took 4 bags of clothes to the charity shop, but that had been sitting in the back of my car for a while. So we got down to the charity shop, and the one I chose to go to, which I've been to before, is called Mind. Let me just check the time, actually. Yeah, it's okay. So it's called Mind. So anyway, we walked in there together with 2 bags each, and I was leading, and there was a lady at the desk and a gentleman, and she stood there and she said, 2 bags per family? And I said, yes. Now my husband, bear in mind, my husband had been actually complaining to me that I'd put these bags in the back of the boot and left them there for weeks. But it's because of lockdown. The charity shops were closed. Admittedly, we could have gone sooner, but they just sat there, and he had been complaining. And when she said this, 2 bags per family, and we'd got 4, I was thinking, I can't take these home. Right? And it was funny because I was just about to tell her, she cut me up actually. She was a little bit rude actually, because I went, in these bags there is, and that's what I was about to say. She totally cut me off and went, 2 bags per family. A bit abrupt, right? And I said, yes. And she said, I said, oh, yes, I've got 2 bags. She said, 2 bags per family? She said to me. So I said, yes. I told a little white lie, basically. I went, yes, I've got 2 bags, I said. And I looked at my husband. I said, oh, I don't know him. Right. And my husband was just there with his bags going. And it must have been obvious because the chap started to laugh. I think they must have known I was pulling a fast one. So I just dumped the bags and ran out the shop. And I thought, I can't just go and stand by the car and wait. And then what if they see? So I went and ran out and hid behind this van. And I waited for my husband, and I waited. I thought, what is he doing? Right. I thought, have they collared him or something? Anyway, I eventually come out. He said, you And then I said, where were you? And he said, they started asking me, are you gift aid? And he didn't know what. They've asked me about gift aid before. I can't remember what it was. She said, are you gift aid? She said to him. And he went, no. But he doesn't even know what it was. Or she should have he probably should have said, what's gift aid? I think he was still in shock that his wife had claimed that she didn't know him. So maybe it was all a big whirlwind. But and then he said he didn't want to rush out because he didn't want to make it look obvious we were together, trying to keep up my lie. So then he came out and he's like, you kind of thing. And so we legged it to the car, and I said, we'll never be able to show our faces in that charity shop again now, will we? But never mind, there are other charity shops that will probably more gladly take our donations. However, mind, healthy minds, it's a massive deal to me. It's probably a charity, close to heart, with mental health problems and things, not necessarily just for, my own mental health, but, other people's mental health. Yeah, and it means something to me, and I liked donating to Mind, but maybe next time, maybe I'll circulate a bit. Age, maybe I'll find an Age UK and Pet. I have donated to Pet and I'm sure that there used to be an Age one, but I don't know if there is one. I don't know. There's lots of charity shops. I'm going to have a look around. So I'm sorry, Mind, but my donations is going to have to go somewhere else next time, because I'm sure I've been in there before and it was the same lady, but I was on there on my own and I did only have one bag, I think, at the time. So anyway, so thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Sew and Tell. I'm sorry that there wasn't much completed sewing to show you, only a little bit, but next week I'll show you my dress, and hopefully I'll have these French knickers sewn up, maybe a few other bits. If the temperature stays like this, and it all depends on how demanding my family is and my son, how much he wants to drive. Because what it is, because my husband's so busy when he's either working or in the garden, then when my son wants to go do the car thing, it's me that's having to do it, kind of thing. Oh, and I've had to apply for new driving licence. It had run out. It was going to run out September, but I couldn't actually find my current driving licence. I thought, with taking my son out, if I get stopped by the police, I think my husband had my driving licence off me. And he hasn't given me back. I'd still got the old paper part, but I haven't got the card. So yeah, I'm getting a new driving licence. So that's how I discovered my laptop was broken, because I couldn't do it. I tried it. I'm doing my renewal on my phone. It wouldn't work. I tried doing it on the iPad. It wouldn't work. So I had to use my husband's computer to do it. And then that's how I found out mine was broke. So it's unfortunate. So I won't be able to print out patterns that I've got on there, and I need to do it through that because I'll do them the proper sizes. So yeah, unless I can log into things on my husband's laptop, which I probably couldn't. Yeah, I'm a bit stuffed really with things, but you know what, I've got plenty to be going on with without printing out patterns. So anyway, so thank you so much for joining me for this week, and I'll really look forward to doing another one, and I really hope it's just not as long. And I'm sorry, I know that's probably a good thing that I don't do the Friday sews now, so I don't have to worry so much. But the reason I changed it is because I thought I'll be having more videos, not less videos. But yeah, it's just the way it's happened. It's summertime, school holidays, and just life gets in the way, doesn't it? So thank you so much for joining me this time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.